Alexander Misa. My topic is national news.
Hello, my name is Siobhan, and my topic is art, culture, fashion, and music.
Hello, my name is Christina Soto, and my topic is famous people.
My topic is international news, and I'm Michael Libre.
This is the 1980s.
I'm Michael Libre, and I'm going to be covering international news during the 1980s. During the 1980s, a lot of stuff happened on the international world stage. In 1981, Operation Opera was carried out by Israel, which involved the bombing of a nuclear reactor in Iraq, which they thought it would be in a year able to create nuclear weapons of mass destruction, which could possibly harm them. And looking at my cheat sheet, I'm going to go to 1982, which was, I don't know what that says. Moving on. In 1985, in order to aid the Nicaraguan Contras, which was a rebel group going against the communist government there, the United States, members in the government were caught selling weapons to Iran in order to fund the funding of the Contras. And this was a big deal, and it involved some trials and some firings of really important government officials under Reagan, which is a pretty big blow to his administration. And in my cheat sheet again, in 1988, March of 1988, the Halabja poison gas attacks on people, on innocent people, was carried out by Saddam Hussein and his army. And this was the thing that got him on trial and eventually killed because of doing this. And if you knew, chemical warfare has been outlawed since World War II, so it's a big thing. And then a thing that spanned most of the decade was the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. And from 1979 to 1989, they were there. And the Mujahideen, which was funded by the Americans, was constantly pushed in the back, and eventually the Soviets withdrew in 1989. In the same year, 1989, students that were protesting in China, protesting the government in Tiananmen Square, were fired upon by the army and tanks. Yes. So that's a big thing, and that's it.
The part I couldn't read was the Berlin Wall being taken down and how it led to the ultimate collapse of the Soviet Union. This happened on November 9th, 1899, when the communist leadership fled. The locals took down the wall and went on to reunite Germany.
Hi, I'm Crissy, and I'm covering famous people of the 1980s. And the first person we're going to talk about is Pope John Paul II. He was the first Polish pope. And next there's Lech Walesa. He was a Polish factory worker, and he led revolt against communism. Next is Gorbachev. He was the USS Prime Minister. And then there's President Ronald Reagan. He was the best Republican president the U.S. has ever elected. And those three people, Pope John Paul II, Lech Walesa, Gorbachev, and Reagan, actually that's four, they helped tear down the Berlin Wall. Next is Mother Teresa. She started working in the 80s, and she won the Nobel Peace Prize. And next is Princess Diana. She was getting married at that time, and it was the marriage of the century. Next is Michael Jackson, the king of pop. He started his solo career at age 11.
Hello, my name is Alexander Misa, and I'm from National News in the 1980s. In 1980, the Washington State volcano, Mount St. Helens, erupted, killing 22 people. Also, many things came out in the 1980s, including Yoda, Sony Walkman, and of course, everyone's favorite, the Rubik's Cube. Okay. Then, in 1981, there was an air traffic controller strike, and Reagan fired all that were involved with them. There was also a 7-week baseball strike, which is the longest in history. In 1982, Epcot opened, and the Boeing 747 airplane was introduced. In 1984, a gunman killed 22 people in a California McDonald's. In 1985, Barbie was first introduced and became a national phenomenon. In 1986, the space shuttle Challenger exploded 30 seconds after liftoff, killing 7 people, including a teacher. And there was also a giant increase in AIDS, including 400,000 New Yorkers had the disease of AIDS. In 1989, the Alaska cruise ship holding oil crashed. This boat was the Exxon Valdez, and 11 million barrels of oil spilled from it. And now to one of the worst tragedies in 1980s was when an Air Florida flight crashed into the Potomac River on January 13, 1982. It was because there was icing and a pilot error. 78 people died and only 5 survived. And now we are going to the MIT reconstruction of this tragedy on a cold January day.
Okay, you're throttled. Holler if you need the wipers. It's spooled. Real cold, real cold.
God, look at that thing. That doesn't seem right, does it? That's not right.
Yes, it is. There's 80.
Nah, I don't think that's right. Maybe it is.
120.
I don't know.
V1, easy. V2. Forward, easy. We only want 500. Come on, forward, barely climb. Stalling, we're falling. I know it.
Kaboom! Boom! And there it is. Throw rocks at it. Hello, my name is Siobhan and I'm covering art, culture, fashion, and music. In the 80s was a huge decade for art museums, art, and artists. Some of the artists were Jasper Johns, Keith Harding, Marcella, Robert Rauschenberg, and Frank Stella. Now on to fashion. No, yeah. Some of the culture in the 80s was that nerds became a hot commodity in the 1980s. Wealthy and brain computer wizards like Stefan Warnackia helped. Some of the big things in the 80s for food was